and welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today, well, actually the day you were watching this is my actual 26th birthday. Yes, happy birthday to my future self. So obviously I'm filming this a week in the past, so I'm not quite 26 yet, but when you watch this, I'll be celebrating my birthday, which is amazing. So another year around the sun, and I really love doing these videos just because I love watching them for one, and also I just think it just gives so many like different pearls of wisdom and different perspectives. And like literally the last year of my life has been like crazy. Like I've launched a book. Well, this time last year I announced my first book deal. So Spiritual Queen has actually come out since then in January. Became a #1 bestseller, like is up for an award, which is like incredible. I mean, I've won awards this year, which is like mind-blowing, and I'm super grateful for. So thank you so much if you have voted for me, like every time I've been posting these things, like thank you. Just everything feels good this year, and if I could actually explain or show you or like make a movie of the last year of my life, I think people would probably be like, yeah, this is like too far-fetched. Like that didn't really happen. Oh, it did. And it has just been the most expansive, crazy, happy year of my life actually. And definitely I would say in 2019 especially, like things got much better. I've just enjoyed so much writing my second book, and I've literally just signed the publishing deal for that as well, so it will be out in April 2020. Obviously I've been launching my oracle cards, which have been amazing, and like thank you all so much for your love and support on them as well. And to be honest, just thank you for your love and support on my podcast, on everything I do. Like I'm so grateful for you guys following me, like supporting me and watching my stuff every week in, week out. So just thank you for just being here for me for the last year, whether you know it or not. Like it feels like you guys are my big like extended family, so it's great to just have you here. So I thought I would do this video today just for a bit of fun of 26 things that I've learned in 26 years. Number 1 is love always wins, and I think I probably struggled with this quite a lot throughout my entire life, to be honest. I think we can all relate to this in our life, but definitely I know for me personally, like it feels that I've had an interesting life where, you know, quite a few things have happened which haven't been nice or warranted or fair, and I think sometimes it's hard to believe that love always wins or like good always wins, but definitely like karma, absolutely. Like being like 6 years now on from where I was, and obviously in hindsight is a beautiful thing, I can see, you know, that love always does win, like good always wins. So if you're in a situation in your life and you're just like, why is this like happening? Like it doesn't seem fair. Like how is this fair? Like what did I deserve this? Like no, you did not deserve it, but this situation will help you grow and will help hopefully so many other people, like with your inspiration, with sharing how you overcame it as well. So yeah, love always wins, absolutely. Number 2 is that anything that is ever taken is always replaced. And again, another one which I think I've learned with hindsight is sometimes when we don't understand why things happen in our life, or we, you know, just crazy shit happens, or we're just like, wow, I never saw that coming, it can feel like, wow, I feel like I'm at a loss, you know, especially when I had to, you know, pay £10,000 worth of debt that wasn't mine. You know, I had to literally pay that, and that wasn't my fault, and it was just a shit situation I was in. But all that money was returned to me tenfold, and you know, anything that's ever been taken, you know, away in my life, and I know others as well, it's always replaced with something much greater, something much better, and there's always like a divine lesson behind it. So just know that if you are in a situation where you feel like at a loss, or you're like, why the hell did that happen, that something greater is absolutely on its way to stay. Number 3 is that time is a great healer. Now, I think I would probably like chuck that quote out the window a lot of times throughout my life. But again, hindsight, time is a great healer. As cheesy and as corny and as shit as it sounds at the moment, like in that moment, it does heal. It does heal all wounds. And, you know, obviously you've got to put the work in as well. Like, you know, it's not just time, but time gives you perspective. Time gives you hindsight, perspective, and allows you to see things differently. So if it feels intense, if it feels shit right now, just each day that passes, you're another day past, you're another day stepping into your true self, into happiness and abundance and closer to the manifestations that you want. Number 4 is that the universe does really know better. And it's definitely what I've learned of, like, universe, I know what's best for me, like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, I can see why the universe did that now. So I definitely am one of those people who definitely thought I knew better, and then I was like, oh yeah, the universe has just like saved my ass there. The universe has like literally, I've dodged a bullet there. So yeah, the universe does always know better. Again, as shit as it may seem at the time, it does always like have the highest good planned out, and you know, it is always working for our highest good, and everything's always rigged in our favor. Number 5 is that being your authentic self makes you so much happier. Yes, yes, yes. And I think it's not that people choose to not be their authentic self. I think there's just a lot of blocks in place of not wanting to like shine or be too much, or do you know what I mean? Like actually stepping into our true self is stepping into our true power, which can actually be really intimidating for people. So I feel like the last year especially, I mean obviously for the last 4 years, obviously I've been stepping into a more authentic version of myself, and like, you know, healing, purging and all of that lovely jazz. And I feel like definitely in the last year, I've just become more unapologetically myself. I feel like I just don't give any shits anymore. I think that's because I think you sometimes just go through so much that you're just like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna live life to the fullest now. Like I'm just gonna be happy, I'm just gonna live life to the fullest, and I'm just gonna be unapologetically myself, because why not? So I feel like for me, from making that decision and really like embracing my shadow, voicing, you know, actually more authentically when things are wrong or when I don't feel so great, so people understand that actually we're all human still. Like even positive people have bad days, definitely. So I think just from sharing that, like with all you guys and with my friends and with myself more especially, like I think just being that more authentic version of myself has just allowed so much more happiness into my life, definitely, and peace. Number 6 is that forgiveness sets you free. Frickin' men, it does. And I, before I spiritually awoke, was like the most unforgiving person ever. Like if you had wronged me, you were dead to me, literally. Like I've always had that like protective lioness energy, like over my friends, family, over myself. Yeah, definitely forgiveness has been a big life lesson for me, and I can definitely say now that forgiveness is the best thing I've ever learned, because it sets you free, it allows you so much just freedom. And forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. It's to set yourself free and to just bring that peace, that wave of peace, and just namaste into your life. So I would always say that forgiveness is so important. Number 7 is that neutrality is the place to be. Again, another lesson I have learned this year. I definitely would not have agreed with that before, but I can definitely see now that neutrality is the place to be, where you allow things, that you don't react to things, like you just sit in that place of neutrality of people can do what the hell they want, but I'm gonna sit here in my truth, in my peace, in my love and light, and that's it. And for me, it's been really life-changing and just actually allowed me to, I think, release a lot of anger, I think, and just, yeah, just be able to deal with everything, work, personal life, everything, a lot more calmer and a lot more just like namaste. Number 8 is that my version of wealth was all wrong. So obviously this is the entire theme of my next book, my second book. So obviously you're gonna get a whole heck of more information about this, but definitely something that I have learned, that I definitely perceived wealth as success and money and recognition to me, whereas when I had all of that, I realized that was not my version of wealth. And actually I wanted to be wealthy in all areas of my life, and wealth actually means fulfillment and a heck of a lot more things. So yes, that is the theme of my book, but this is my point of our versions of wealth can be wrong, and that's okay. When we witness that, we can change that, and we can redefine that version of wealth and manifest a harmonious relationship with money, with wealth, with fulfillment, and, you know, live a positively wealthy life. Honestly, I love the title of my next book. I'm not gonna lie, like, I literally think it is the best title of a book I have ever had, and all of you guys love it as well, which really, really makes me happy. So I've been trying so much, because obviously I couldn't announce it until very recently, to not use the terms positively wealthy when I've been talking about this work. So now I'm like, yes, I can say it. So yes, all of this will be covered in the book, but yeah, definitely there's more to life than the wealth you think there is. Number 9 is that you can write a book no matter what your skill set. So I was never obviously like diagnosed with dyslexia or anything like that, but I definitely think I have always struggled with grammar and struggled with structuring sentences and knowing, like, it's just grammar. Oh my god, literally, like, I mean, you guys read my blog post, you know, interpret it as you will. Now obviously I am a lot better than what I used to be. Like, I'm giving myself like a hard time here. I'm a lot better than what I used to be. So when I first started blogging 6 years ago, I definitely would probably cry at those blog posts looking back now, because they probably would look like they were written by a 2-year-old. Whereas like actually writing my book, I think I was so petrified, and I always knew I wanted to write a book, but I always thought it'd be ghostwritten, because I was like, how do you write a book? People are not gonna read my like really shit sentences, like it's awful. So for me, I know I've always struggled, and definitely blogging over the years has helped to some degree, but actually writing my book, I can't even, and I've heard this from my authors I'm mentoring as well, your actual grammar and writing style evolves as you write the book. It was so weird. So by the end of the book, I was like, Jesus Christ, you were like Marianne Williamson girl, like, yes. And then I had to rewrite the first bit of the book, because obviously it didn't quite correlate at that point. So it's interesting how actually writing my book was what actually helped me to learn so much and actually be able to write. So if you'd asked me at the beginning whether you thought, like, whether I thought I was capable of writing a book, hell no. I didn't even know how to write one, but I just trusted, I just showed up, and I went along with the process of, I wrote what came to me. I wrote random chapters and then obviously structured them as they kind of fitted in later on, and I built that book up by full intuition, channeling. And by the end of it, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yes, this is written so good. And like, no one's even taught me this. This is just from channeling and just trusting and allowing myself to evolve with that process. So again, even with my second book, I'm seeing it now, like, because obviously I like worked with the editors in the first one, like I'm seeing, you know, like, oh yeah, don't put that there. Oh, that needs a comma. Nope, that could be a sentence. So you learn as you go. So if you want to write a book, trust me, like, I'm sure to some degree I would have been diagnosed with some form of learning difficulty, or do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know whether that's the right term to use, but you know, I got a B in English. I got a B in, I can never remember. I got a B and a C in English, language and literature, probably language. I got the higher one in. Don't know how, but it was almost like in my adult life I got worse. That's what I feel like. I feel like I was actually probably okay at school, but I think in my adult life it actually got worse for some reason. But you can absolutely write a book with any skill set, and like, it will evolve. Trust that process. Number 10 is that success does not define you. Amen to this. I will hold my hands up. I definitely always thought success would define me as a person or make me as a person, and again I was like, nope, definitely not. Like, the only person who defines you is yourself. You know, that person who's not on camera, that person who doesn't have followers, that person who just is sat there as Emma, or you know, whatever. Like, you define yourself. And for me, it was really about defining myself away from everything I do and being like, who is the real Emma? Like, I want to find the real Emma. So always know that success does not define you. Absolutely not. There is so much more to life, and the success will never give you that recognition, that validation, or anything you think it will. Okay, so the builders have decided to go, so I'm just going to continue and hope to God you can hear me okay, because why now? Honestly, okay, it's always when I film as well, like all throughout the week, no builders, but whenever I sit down to film, it's like, right, put the drills on, guys, let's fuck up a video. Number 11 is that it's okay to admit when you are wrong. And I definitely think this is, again, something I've learned the last year, of actually putting your hands up, being honest, taking accountability for your behavior is so healing, so good and healing, and just causes a lot less issues, to be honest. And you know, when we can look at ourselves and say like, actually no, this behavior is not great, or maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I shouldn't have done that, you know, it's okay to admit that you're wrong. And actually, like, it's a heck of a lot more respectful, like, when you can do that. Like, you know, that's like the ultimate vulnerability. That's the ultimate kind of just, yeah, like apology. And obviously change behavior is an apology, but when you can admit that you're wrong, like, you're healing, you're doing the work, you're showing up. Absolutely. Number 12 is to always be kind. I just think kindness is a necessity. Like, manners for me are everything. Like, I just get so annoyed when people have bad manners. Like, it must be the Virgo in me. Please, if you're a Virgo, tell me if you're the same. But like, a please and thank you cost nothing. And definitely I'm so aware with this with like service people, like when I'm going to a shop or a cafe or anything, you know, a lot of my friends like, Emily, you are so polite. And I'm like, yes, because this person is like serving me and bringing me energy, like energetic. It's like an energetic exchange, really. Okay, I'm paying the company, but do you know what, like, I'm thanking this person for taking the time, for being lovely to me, for being nice. So yeah, definitely kindness and manners are everything, and it goes a long way. If you do it, you're going to get it back by law of attraction. So I always show up as how I expect to be treated. And then it sets the boundaries, it sets the kind of energetic tone of how you're showing up. Number 13 is that anything is possible and that anything can be manifested. Hell yes. We do live in a world of ultimate possibilities, or unlimited possibilities. And yeah, I think definitely from my journey, just throughout life in general, obviously my law of attraction journey the last 4 years, like, anything is possible, anything and everything. Like, the word impossible says I'm possible in itself. Lovely Audrey Hepburn quote there. All wrong, but you get the gist of the message. So impossible even says I'm possible. And just always remember that anything can happen, anything is possible, and whatever you want you can have in this lifetime. Number 14 is that age is just a number. Like, I hear it so frequently. I'm either too, you know, not me, but like clients say I'm too young to do something, or I'm too old to do something, and age is just a number. You know, I'm sure people would look at my age and be like, you know, obviously 25, 26, a 25-year-old life coach, like, what the fuck does she know? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I hear it all the time, and I'm like, actually, age is just a number. Like, I'm probably like 593 really, because I'm like an old granny and I love to stay at home and dress up and sit in my duvet, and do you know what I mean? Like, I'm probably pre-retirement already, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Your experiences, your maturity, you know, whatever, like, you are exactly where you're meant to be, and it's never too late to start something, and it's never too early to start something. So, you know, even if you are later in your life, so what? You've still got plenty happy years to do these things, to start a business, to do what you want to do. Like, there are no limits. Who cares? Age is just a number. Number 15 is that the light always returns. And I think this is really potent for people who are kind of in that darkness stage, or feel that the light at the end of the tunnel isn't going to come, or the light doesn't return. Remember that everything is cyclic. Our whole beings are cyclic. So the summer always returns, the sun always rises, the moon always rises again. You know, darkness and light, polarities, yin and yang, are the whole, like, you know, that is our whole being, our whole world, how the whole freaking universe works. So the light will always return, you know, we'll always be happy again, and there will be, you know, it's a constant flow of stuff. It's just working with it and riding the waves as such. So always know that the light always returns. Number 16 is that self-love is everything. Absolutely. How can you love another person if you don't love yourself? So love yourself first. Like, work on that self-love. It will be the best relationship you ever have, and it will just open up so many opportunities, abundance and love into your life when you do. 17 is that traveling unlocks parts of you, and I've definitely noticed this. Traveling for me creates shifts. It's because I guess I'm doing something new and traveling to new energy, but I always feel like I unlock something, like either a download, something I need to know, inspiration, book ideas. Just basically, yeah, I unlock a lot of stuff on holiday about myself as a person, what I need to do in situations, inspiration for work. So traveling definitely helps you to unlock parts of you you didn't know were there. 18 is that change is always constant, and I think that's a hard one. It's a hard pill to swallow, that one, because sometimes we want things to stay the same. Like, oh my God, I'm such a creature of habit, honestly. And I think as humans we resist change. When change is inevitable, it is constant. And it's really about learning to flow with that. Flow with it and work with it and surrender to it, definitely. Number 19 is to never go to Paris again. Bit of a funny one for you, as you guys will know from my What My Friends Would Like You to Know About Me video. I've had some good and bad experiences in Paris, and I just, like, it's really funny. Hannah said to me the other day, if I win this competition, do you want to come to Paris? I was like, nope, I'm never going back to Paris. It's a lovely place. I love the French people and I love France, but unfortunately twice was enough for me to realize that the universe likes to test me in Paris, or weird things happen, and I'm just not here for that. Number 20 is that your inner compass is the only thing you can ever truly trust, and I just think it's really about bringing the power back to yourself, knowing your power, knowing your worth, and knowing that you hold all the answers within yourself. Stop giving your power away to me, to other people, to psychics, to all of it. Like, you in your soul know the answers. You can access those answers. You've just got to listen. And for me, I think I've definitely done that before. I've like given my power away and like, yeah, always put like my fate as such in other people's hands. And it was just the worst thing I ever did for so many reasons. And now I'm like, you create your reality. You decide what you want to happen. Go fucking make it happen. So now I'm not against seeing psychics or anything. I just don't want to do it. I want to trust my inner compass. I want to trust me, myself, and create the life that I want. So your inner compass is the biggest sat nav you can ever follow in this life. 21 is that we all have imposter syndrome and we all have insecurities. I think it's so easy to jump on this comparison bandwagon here and be like, oh, well, look at these people on Instagram, they look so happy, they're so slim, they're so happy, like life's great, they're famous, they have money, like what could they possibly hate about themselves? And I think it's about realizing that that is fully comparison. We all have imposter syndrome of, should we be here? Should I say this? Who am I to do this? Who am I to say this? Oh my God, I still have it. Literally, I'm like talking that ego down. And it's remembering as well that we all have insecurities. We are all in the same boat. And our society is what has created this disconnection to make us feel like we should be shamed or wronged for having insecurities or for feeling imposter syndrome. Number 22 is my favorite quote of all time that I have tattooed on me, and it is nothing before its time, which is, I actually had that or came across it before I was spiritual and had it tattooed before I was spiritual, but it just resonates with me so much because divine timing is everything, and trust the timing of your life. 23 is it's never too late for anything. If you want to start something, it's never too late. If you want to change something, it's never too late. If you want to manifest something, it is never too late for anything. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Your life is exactly where it's meant to be, so follow that. Number 24 is if you want to live your best life, you have to choose your best life constantly. So I see this a lot of people are like, this is the dream, this is the life I want to live, but they're not choosing or making those decisions to choose that life. So if you want to live your best life, you've got to walk your talk. You've got to walk your talk, follow through, and be consistent. Number 25 is that everything is a blessing or a lesson. Of course it is. We know that and we're reminded of that, but we sometimes or most of the time forget that. So always know that no matter what hardship, adversity, or trauma or whatever it may be that happens in your life, it's always a blessing or a lesson, as hard as that may be to accept in some, you know, extreme cases. It will always teach us something. It will always teach us something which we may not know right at this moment. So number 26 to end on is that I have amazing, lovely followers who I love so much, and you all feel like an extended family, and just that I'm incredibly blessed in my life. And I just want to like add that one in because I just want to give gratitude to you guys, of course, for being here the last year and hopefully many years before and many years to come. So just thank you for all your love, all your support, all your comments, all your views, likes, everything you support me with. Just thank you, because I'm just so blessed to have so many amazing souls who are just so lovely, who take the time out of their day to comment or message me or email me and just, or even work with me or whatever. Like, just thank you. I appreciate you all. And I hope lots of love, abundance and blessings come into your life this year. But yes, to wrap this up, I definitely feel like this year, I don't know, I just feel really grateful, and I just feel in a really, really good place where I just feel so freaking blessed and grateful for everything. And what a year of transformation. Like, I just feel it. I'm like, oh my God, like, how have I got through this year? Like, I should be dead or something, literally. But, well, it's a bit extreme, but you know, emotionally, like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just like, yeah, how have I got through this? Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I appreciate all your views and likes. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. So thank you for being here. Here's to another happy, healthy year for myself and all of us. And I will see you in my next video, which will be next week. Lots of love, guys.